Hey guys, what's up? It's Iflin here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to farm Mesa in Warframe in 2019. Now, this how to farm video is going to start off a little differently because you have to do something before you can just jump in and fight the boss. There's not going to be any spoilers because you guys do have to, do a quest, but I'm just going to tell you guys what quest it is that you have to do and then let you guys experience it on your own. I'm not going to show any gameplay from the quest itself. I guess technically the boss is kind of a spoiler, but it isn't really because you can kind of tell just from the entire setup of the quest, like what it's going to be about. So this is Alad V. He's infested now. You got to go kill him at the end of the quest. Pretty straightforward. Anybody could have seen it coming, but you got to go out of your way to complete this Patient Zero quest before we can farm Mesa. So what's going to happen at the end of the quest is you're going to get a thing for your foundry, which if we go ahead and we head down here and we type in Alad V, you can see that we have a Mutalist Alad V Assassinate key. Now, you got to build this before you can actually take on this boss fight to farm Mesa. So if you're super lucky, you're only going to need 3 because you're going to need to get the neuroptics, the chassis, and the systems, just like any other Warframe apart from Equinox because she's super special. But I'm going to go ahead and rush this. Don't recommend rushing this, but you need to get Mutalist Alad V nav coordinates. You get those from Innovations or Orc Derelict Defense. Nav coordinates, you can get those from the Orc Derelict, Nanospores, Ferrite, just common resource, pretty straightforward. Go ahead, craft this key, craft as many as you need, and then what you're going to do is you're going to back out of here. We're going to go ahead and equip our Nova Warframe. And it's the exact same build as the last How to Get video, where we got Loki, Energy Siphon, Intensify, Streamlight, Flow, Fatality, Redirection, Continuity. Doesn't really matter which frame you use for this fight, because it's just like stand and shoot the bad guy type of thing. It's really, really straightforward. Not difficult whatsoever. I'd recommend using this build for the heck. This has changed up a little bit. We have Point Blank, Hell's Chamber. We do have that Scattered Justice mod on now, so that's going to give us a pretty hefty damage increase. Charge Shell, Contagious Spread. Now, this is giving us corrosive damage rather than a radiation, so I just swapped Contagious Spread beside Charge Shell rather than having Incendiary Coat beside Charge Shell. So instead of radiation and toxin, we now have corrosive and fire, which is pretty nice. And I've done the same for my Lex and my Redeemer, but again, you're not going to be using those. I'm actually going to go ahead and throw on a maxed out Hell's Chamber on here instead of that just unranked, or was it one rank one? I forget. I think it was unranked, but there you go. That is the build that I'd recommend. And yeah, like I said, any frame, Excalibur, Vault, Rhino. Rhino would probably be a lot better because you can go completely immune with your Iron Skin, and then you have your damage buff on your Roar. Vault, you can shoot for electric shields. You can use speed to get there faster. Nova, you can slow him down. You can use Wormhole to get there faster, and if you really want to, you can use Antimatter Drop for kind of like a mob clearing. I would still recommend Nova because you can use her to crowd control all the enemies around, slow them down, but you could do the same with Rhino and Rhino Stump. It just kind of depends on how you have them built. So you want to go ahead and head to Ares. Now, if you've been paying attention to this How to Get series, we've just been kind of going around as the planets go. So Earth, you go to Venus. On Venus, you can get Rhino, then you go to Mercury. Nothing to farm there. Mars, Excalibur, Phobos, Mag, Ceres. You get your Frost, Jupiter, Valkyrie, Europa, Nova, Saturn, Ember, Uranus, Equinox, Neptune, Loki. And then you move on to Pluto, but Pluto's a little bit more difficult. So we're skipping Pluto and moving on to Eris to get Mesa, because Mesa makes things a lot easier. So we want to go to Eris, and then you go to Mutalist Alad V Assassinate. We're going to go ahead and we're jumping in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to kill the boss. The boss, he's pretty lengthy because you can only damage him whenever he takes off this neck brace thing that he has around him. And if you're playing this co-op, that neck brace is actually going to be able to take control of your allies, right? So I recommend 110% doing this boss fight solo. Might be a little bit difficult if you don't have your mods and stuff leveled up, like your Point Blank and your Hell's Chamber and your elemental damage mods and the mods for your Warframe and whatnot. But you've seen that I wasn't using anything too insane. I wasn't using any corrupted mods and stuff like that. And you can have a better build for your Warframe and for your weapon coming into this fight, so you don't have to necessarily copy exactly what I have. You can look up a Heck build or a Nova build on YouTube and use that instead. That's perfectly fine too. But as you'll see whenever we get to the boss fight, it's really, really easy. There's not a lot of stuff happening. It's just kind of a stand and shoot the guy as he takes off his neck brace, right? So shouldn't be too far away from him now. Use our Wormhole to get there faster. So this is the boss room. He's got to spawn in. I'll let you guys watch that because, you can just get right to it whenever you jump in to play it on your own. So he loads up his gun. We're going to go ahead and hit our M Prime. We're going to cast our 1, and he's going to take off his neck brace, and then his health bar is going to go Obviously yellow and blue for his armor and his shields. And now you just have to wait for him to do the exact same thing again. Keep on aiming at him. Whenever that health bar changes color, there you go. That is it. Super easy. And we killed him extremely fast because we do have that maxed out Hell's Chamber, Point Blank, Scattered Justice, and Elemental Damage mods. So Corrosive and Fire is the elemental combination that you want to be using. And that is pretty much it. So that's how you do the fight. Really, really easy. So we get to the exit. And whenever we get there, we're going to get one of the blueprints for the parts for Mesa. The neuroptics and the chassis share a 32% chance to drop, and the systems has a 28% chance to drop. So the systems is by far the rarest part. Okay, here we are at the exit, and we're gonna get the chassis. Oh, we got the neuroptics. Okay, my guess was wrong that time, but whatever. So we got the neuroptics. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to our ship. We're gonna go to the market and we're gonna purchase the Mesa blueprint. I think you get the Mesa blueprint from the market. I can't remember. Maybe you get it as a reward from the quest. Again, I can't remember. These the quest rewards are a little bit weird because some quests will give you the blueprint for the Warframe, so you don't have to go out of your way to buy it. But let's just go ahead and double check. So if we type in Mesa and we go here, okay, we can purchase the blueprint. So purchase the blueprint for 30,000 credits. Mesa neuroptics, Mesa chassis, Mesa systems. Want to back out of here, go down to our foundry, go to the Warframe tab, type in Mesa. So you can see we got to do the neuroptics, which costs alloy plate, neural sensors, polymer bundle, plastids. And then we got the systems, which costs argon crystals, polymer bundle, nanospores, circuits. And I don't actually have, I do have the chassis. I just didn't purchase the blueprint. Dirt me. That requires oxium, and that's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt. But I'm going to go ahead and craft all of these and then rush them with my premium currency. I don't recommend doing that. I've actually run out of argon crystals, so I can't show you. Feels bad, but that's what I guess crafting those things are like. And then you want to go ahead and purchase obviously the Mesa blueprint, and then you'd put them together. Whenever you get your Mesa systems, you would craft it, and then you would get your level 0 Mesa. The capacity would be equal to your mastery rank, right? So if you're master rank 25, your rank 0 Mesa would have 25 capacity in the modding section. If you're rank 5, it would have 5 capacity. It wouldn't have any Orkin reactors installed or anything like that. No Forma or anything. It would just be a completely blank Mesa, and then it would be yours to mess around with and do all that stuff. So Mesa is definitely a must-have frame, and if you're struggling with farming up the resources to get her, what you want to do is you want to go to your navigation and then view this little drone down here in the bottom right hand corner. So on Earth we have ferrite, rubido, neuros, detonite, ampule. On Mars you have your morphic salvage gallium field drawn sample. On Phobos you've got your rubido, morphic plastids, alloy plates. On Ceres you have your alloy plate circuits, orchid cells, detonite, ampule. Jupiter you've got your salvage, field drawn sample, neural sensors, alloy plate. Europa, morphix, rubido, field drawn sample, control module. Saturn you got nanospores, plastids, orchid cell, detonite, ampule. Uranus, you got polymer bundle, plastids, gallium, detonite, ampule. Neptune, you have nanospores, ferrite, control module, field drawn sample. And then Pluto, we've got our rubido, morphix, plastids, alloy plate. And then last but not least, we have our Eris, nanospores, plastids, neuros, mutagen samples. And I almost forgot, we've got the void over here where you can get your argon crystals. So the most difficult thing for you to farm probably will be the argon crystals and the oxium. For the oxium, I recommend going to a Corpus planet and playing either a defense or an interception. And what you have to do is you have to kill the oxium osprey drones. Do not let them charge you and detonate themselves, because if they do that, then you're not going to get the oxium drop. Make sure you're using a high damage weapon like the heck with the Scattered Justice mod and BB radiation or corrosive damage. It's really up to you to just one-shot those enemies and get that oxium drop, because you get oxium in such small amounts. Killing every single drone and maximizing how much oxium you can get, you know, in any run as a newer player is definitely worth it. So make sure to get as much oxium as possible. And then your argon crystals, I don't have any of those because these decay, and that's just like, they're just gonna disappear on you. So you want to make sure that you just run a few void missions. I would maybe run an exterminate. Defense missions are kind of you're gonna get an argon crystal like maybe one in every 3 exterminates or something. Like you get a little thing of it to spawn where you break open and you get an argon crystal, and there it just kind of is. So that is kind of that. But Mesa is definitely a frame that you want to get. She's got damage buffing abilities, she's got damage reduction abilities, and then she's got her absolutely insane peacemaker ability. Peacemaker ability, which is going to just rip through the rest of the bosses on the star chart and any other bosses in any other quest, because like it's just press 4, hold down left click, and the thing is going to die. You don't even have to have like a maxed out Hornet Strike, because you can mod them with your secondary weapon mods. You don't even have to have a maxed out Hornet Strike to get the most amount of damage out of it. You can just throw on fire rate mods on there and get an insane amount of DPS from them and basically get through any content in the game. And we're going to be using Mesa for the next boss on Pluto and Sedna. So go out everywhere to get Mesa. It's definitely worth it. Do that Patient Zero quest. It's a pretty fun quest. I enjoyed it. And get Mesa ASAP. You will not regret it. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead, hit that like button below. And if you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.